champ select wise, what what more or less I'm missing the word here. What adjustments could Grab Them by the Teemo make here in champ select?
I mean, we definitely see it right away. Them taking that second ban and banning away. Wait, that is them banning away the Blitzcrank. Yes, something that was very crucial to bot lane success for Champion Spotlight Ashen, making the grabs. Many of his grabs being hit early on, allowing Elucida to follow up with Budnificent and pick up a few kills, 3-on-2 and 3-on-3.
Yeah, absolutely. And another a Viban actually coming out from Team Grab Them by the Teemo. I'm not exactly sure if Elucida would play the Vi. I'm not
Yeah,
exactly too sure, but they did ban out the Graves, they banned the Blitz, and they're banning out the Vi this time. So Clumsy Chocobo not going to be on the Vi this time around. I'm guessing he's going to try and he's going to switch it up in the jungle at this point. Sorry, Team Champion Spotlight Ocean opting to ban away the Ziggs, the Kha'Zix, and the Leona. Funnily enough, from Fleeing Panda here, Gnarls Barkley. I'm sorry, the names are fucking with me. So Grab Them by the Teemo, taking the Jhin away from Budnificent. I absolutely agree with that pick because Budnificent is just putting on a showcase with that Jhin.
and Bearded Bear Lover, also an excellent Jhin player. He plays that champion very much. It's one of his main champions. It's just a highly contested pick. I'm surprised Champion Spotlight Ocean didn't try to ban that away, and knowing that that would be their first pick, unless this Misfortune Karma bot lane is just going to be the answer to the Jhin.
I mean, I'm not too well versed in the bot lane to be able to say it will or will not. What are you thinking here?
Well, Misfortune Karma is a very, very obnoxious lane to deal with. Very poke heavy. A lot of poke coming out from the Karma Spirit Fires and the Misfortune in general with her double ups off of minions. If they can keep that Jhin away from farm, a Jhin that gets behind stays behind for the most part. He's not an easy champion to play from behind, and he very much falls off when unable to take an early lead.
Do agree with you there. Oh, what were the poll results? Let me go ahead and check that for game one. Let me go ahead and refresh the straw poll. All right, so it does look like Elucida only 4 votes. We are sporting 14 viewers right now. So what we'll do is well, we're actually sporting only 9. We had 14. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and close up voting at 11:45. So that should be enough time for us to get through champ select and whatnot, and then we will have your MVP for game one. But right now, looking like Elucida. Definitely agree with that pick. Made a lot of things happen, especially with Lee Sin mechanically. So definitely not surprised there. The Wukong coming up. Is that going to Elucida, I wonder? Is that going to be... yeah, actually, because it looks like Socrates is going to go back on that Malphite, and Wukong coming out from Elucida is going to take that into the jungle. And on the other side, a Xerath pick from Gerg7. I know he's been practicing that Xerath for quite a while now. And Shen coming out. Shen coming out from Gnarls Barkley again. Again, maybe he'll change it up and build a lot more tank early, because it seemed that once he did build those tank items, he became a lot more of a force to be reckoned with. And then Orianna coming out from DG Mad Hatter. That is a Malphite. That is a Malphite Orianna. That is season 4 Freelo right there, boys. Like,
Especially with the Wukong and Misfortune on top of that. They have 4 insanely high synergy ultimates, 3 knockups, massive damage from the Orianna, and then the bullet time ripping through. If Team Grab Them by the Teemo ever gets clumped up in a team fight, I don't think they can survive, no matter how far behind Team Champion Spotlight Ocean is at that point.
so it looks like from a from a pick comp into an AOE comp, we're going from Team Champion Spotlight Ocean.
Yeah, no, very, very big change of pace. Their pick comp wasn't really answered in the bans phase, other than getting rid of that Blitzcrank. but they're still switching it up, changing their attitude, and really looking to put down huge team fights.
I must not fall.
Yeah, I don't know. Right now, Team Gazen by the Teemo is sporting a Shen in the top lane. What do they have for their jungler?
Rek'Sai.
Rek'Sai in the jungle, a Xerath in the mid lane, a Jhin in the bot lane, and a Karma on the support. So they're definitely gonna have the disengage from the Karma. Unfortunately,
The Karma's on the side of Champion Spotlight Ashen with that misfortune in the bot lane. The support for Grab Them by the Teemo is Lulu, which still again is an excellent disengage support.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a bit of disengage on the side of on the side of team Grab Them by the Teemo. Unfortunately, a Xerath pick here, not exactly the best, because Wukong, Malphite, or Orianna, he would Gurg 7 is gonna have to be in the absolute back of the team fights and cannot be anywhere close to that team, because he will just get automatically popped up. Both actually speaking, both Bearded Bear Lover and Gurg 7, while they're in their ultimate channels, are sitting ducks for that Wukong and Orianna combo. So they're definitely going to have to pay attention to their positioning there, or else they can just get absolutely bursted because of the fact that they're going to be rooted in their ultimates.
And trying to utilize that excellent long-range combination from their ultimates too, hoping to probably get a few picks here with that. We'll see if they can end up dishing out the damage before Team Champion Spotlight Ashen is able to get the team fight rolling. But it's really just going to come down to that. The Rek'Sai and the Shen, I don't know how well they fall into that composition. They really, while they have the ability to peel with the Rek'Sai Unburrow and the Shen Shadow Dash, they're really more want to hard engage, get in on the team, and keep them locked down. But it's just going to be tough for them, in my opinion. They're really going to have to do work with those long-range carries and getting those picks off of their poke.
Right, and also, although they do not exactly have the pick comp this time around with their champions, they more or less have the same goal. When you really look at it, I mean, the Malphite is going to stay the same. He's going to look for those 3 to 4 man ultimates. The Wukong, about the same as the Lee Sin, where he's going to try and solo a Xerath or a Jhin, especially late game with the lethality already built in. On the other side of the coin, Orianna, DG Matt had her on the Orianna. Is not going to be more of an assassin, so definitely going to have to stay in the back and let the Wukong and Malphite essentially just open up those fights and give her those 4 to 5 man ultimates. Buddy is not exactly going to play a different type of champion as well. I mean, although it's not going to be the chain CC from the Jhin, or I'm sorry, the CC from the, he does not going to have the CC from the Jhin. He's going to have that ultimate that's just going to absolutely shred whatever comes in his way, and then the Karma just providing overall support and actually giving them the speed buff necessary in order to initiate those fights. And you know, it's more or less of the same. It's more or less of the same goal, just in a different aspect. It's not a pick comp. It's an AoE comp that is centered around a pick, which is actually really funny. But in any case, that's what they're trying to go for. And if they can play it as well as they did last game, you know, it's gonna be another fun match to watch.
Yeah, and this game is definitely highly going to be decided just by the positioning of Team Grab Them by the Teemo. If they ever get clumped up, they just won't stand a single chance in these team fights. They have to be aware of where their other teams are, and especially where that Orianna ball is and where that Wukong is running around.
Absolutely, Elucida on a Wukong, man. There's just that just seems scary all on its own. He's gonna be able to go invisible every what, 5 to 10 seconds if he levels up his clone second. It's just not gonna be fun, if I'm gonna be completely honest. I mean, I played him when he was on his Kha'Zix, and that's oh gosh. Elucida just putting in a lot of work with these lethality champs. Granted, he didn't go lethality with the Lee Sin, but his Graves is just absolutely bonkers. His Kha'Zix is up there as well. And now he's going to be sporting a Wukong. Like, man, these fighters coming out of El Lucida are just going to be... It's going to be the tail of the game. It was the tail for last game. Oh, by the way, El Lucida did in fact win the MVP vote for Game 1. So we got him for Game 1. So we're going to have to see who comes in for Game 2. Definitely looking for Team Champion Spotlight Austin to have a lot more cleaner ending to these games if they do get up early in the mid game, especially by 11K. Hopefully they can clean up a lot of their end game. And at the same side, I'm really hoping that Team Grab Them by the Teemo can get their early game and mid game on lock. From what we saw in Game 1, they were really forcing out a lot of their situations instead of letting the situations happen for them. And by that happening, they overstepped their boundaries just way too much. Just, constantly getting picked out. And in reality, if you really think about it, if you take away maybe about 10 to 20 minutes of those games, or take away maybe 10 kills away from that game, Team Grab Them by the Teemo had every single shot to win that game pretty easily, in my opinion, actually. If you take away those just absolutely unnecessary kills in the early game.
Yeah, we'll see how they combat this. They really just did not. They really wanted to wait till later in the game last game, and they did not do it, trying to force everything way too soon. We'll see how they play out this early game, if they'll go a little bit more conservative. But I don't know, that Rek'Sai really, really wants to get into the back of lanes early on and try and make things happen with her on Burrow and locking people down. Hopefully he doesn't take too many turret shots again, and he should be able to easily make some plays for his team and get them some slight leads in their lane. El Lucida with Wukong not being the strongest of early game gankers, it's, coming down to this jungle matchup, the early game of Rek'Sai versus the mid game of Wukong.
Also, make sure you report El Lucida for not having a skin.
Will do.
Welcome to Summer's Rift.
Only champion on his side without a skin. So make sure you go ahead and drop that little report for Riot and not spending money on this game. So.
Especially with how awesome that the newest skin for him is.
Oh yeah,
which
the
came out a while ago.
Yeah. The Goku skin, yeah.
Whatever the heck the Goku skin is called.
I just call it the Goku skin, Super Saiyan. Oh, take that back. I'm sorry, I'm a big Barcelona fan.
Didn't they just get it handed to them by Paris?
We don't talk about that.
That's what I thought.
There you go, this shameless plug.
Sal's game reviews. I've actually not checked out Sal's game
He
reviews.
has 2 game reviews. I was telling him, man, we were putting a lot of pressure on that man. He's gonna actually have to write game reviews now. It's done. It's over.
Bearded Bear Lover looking maybe to try and steal away this blue buff down there. He's getting very, very aggressive as it goes lower down. Theatrix getting in the way. El Lucida's taking a lot of damage to that blue buff for this, though.
Yeah, is not gonna be able to get the. DG Mad Hatter actually pulling up really, really close to this Xerath, actually taking a lot of damage, and actually even start taking a lot of damage from the minions too. Not really sure he wanted that trade.
Not very impressive ball control. He was just not keeping the ball on top of Gurgs, and just really unnecessary, trying to trade mostly with auto attacks, and Gurg 7 being able to trade back with those Arcano pulses.
Yeah, he's just taking way too much damage right now. Having to burn both of his pots early, and Theatrix actually overstepping his boundaries as well. He's gonna get stunned right there by Bearded Bear Lover, gets the crit. Ooh, Glitterlance just short to be able to catch Theatrix on that Karma.
And interestingly enough, Team Grab Them by the Teemo's bot lane not level 2 yet off of 2 full minion waves. They missed an incredible amount of experience trying to harass that blue buff.
I don't know. It seems like oh, that double down. It's major work on Bearded Bad Lover. Yeah, so I mean, it seems that Eric heard me as well on the Shen, because he opts to go for a cloth and 4 pots this time around. So it looks like he's gonna try and go for that Sunfire Cape a little earlier, not second item, but maybe first item.
Yeah, a little interesting on the selection there though, with the cloth over a Duran shield for just the straight health regen. Malphite not being able to put out exactly the highest physical damage.
Gonna have to burn Flash. Oh, a great Flash follow-up by Elucida. I'm sorry, by Clumsy Chocobo. Sorry, I'm just really used to saying Elucida got a kill.
Yeah, and there goes that early Rek'Sai pressure, able to just burrow in over walls and knock people up and lock them down and keep them in place to get some good kills for his team, putting Gerg7 ahead a little bit with that assist, about even in farm.
Absolutely. So a really nice change of pace here coming out from Team Grabbing by Team. Like I said, definitely keeping a little bit more control of the early game. We'll have to see what they do in the mid game, but it looks like they're chilling. They're just having a good time right now, farming, getting that first blood on the mid laner by Clumsy Chocobo. Actually opts to go to Tiamat first rather than upgrade to his jungle item. Theatrix taking a bit of damage, might go down. Ooh, and a flash auto by Fleeing Panda, not being able, but gets sniped by Bearded Bear Lover. An amazing snipe by Bearded Bear Lover at that point. Did have to bring the heal.
Dropping the exhaust on the end to just make sure that Miss Fortune can't follow up. Excellently well played by Team Grabbing by the Teemo's bot lane to pick up that kill.
Yeah, and very interestingly enough, both Budnificent and Theatrix opted to not use any summoners, even though they understood that, Theatrix was in grave danger there. Maybe a flash would have helped, because, like you said, and Clumsy Chocobo actually coming back. Again, this time DJ Mad Hatter doesn't have flash, but does opt to use the ghost. Ooh, Faceseeker's gonna miss there, just short. LSU's gonna come in with that damage. He has the red buff, but I don't think he has the mana to really follow up more on it. On the other side, Gnarls Barkley being a little bit aggressive on Stock Dailies, but not really much this time around since he does have the class 4 pots.
How Clumsy Chocobo with those repeat ganks mid lane as Gerg hits another Arcano Pulse on DG Mad Hatter. Doing very well with those. And we see Elucida coming in behind Gerg7 trying to make a play in here. He goes in, he just walks up to gets stunned by Gerg7, hops the ghost, and he just runs away. A little bit unnecessary Stand United, cancelled by the Stock Dailius ultimate.
And a very unnecessary and a very unnecessary ult by Stock Dailius by that same token as well. I mean,
the lack of communication there on both sides as Gerg7 was out of that fight and Gnarls Barkley using the Stand United. Stock Dailius still choosing to ult. It's just ults traded for nothing.
Oh, it actually ultimate coming down from Gerg, not going to be able to pick up the kill on DG Mad Hatter. Ultimately, at the very end of the story, it was worth it was worth it for Gnarls Barkley to go ahead and use that ultimate on Stock Dailius, because now in reality he's a lot more safer in lane, because Elucida is not going to be able to exactly chain CC, and Stock doesn't have the ultimate exactly to be able to get those ganks to happen. So worth, I guess.
I guess so. But Stock Dailius with 30 seconds less on that cooldown than the Shen, he'll have that up in time before that. But as we see bot lane, just a few skill shots missed, traded back and forth. Elucida looking to come in on bot lane. Bearded Bear Lover caught by a Spirit Fire and sped up out of the way from Lulu. Elucida walked over a ward there and they just headed right out. As Theatrix continues to try and pressure this and gets poked back, losing that trade a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think Theatrix quite understands that a Misfortune doesn't exactly have the same range that a Jhin has, especially with that 4th auto and the W, being able to lock him down. But Budnificent just doesn't have the range to be able to more or less trade the damage away into maybe Fleeing Panda or to Bearded Bear Lover himself. And again, another stun. And Curtain Call comes out. He's going to try and snipe away Theatrics. He doesn't really have a lot to go on. Oh, the fourth hit. Actually, almost taking down Theatrics. But again, no summer spells used in the making of that, in that trade. Yeah, honestly speaking, it doesn't look like Budnificent is as comfortable on this Misfortune as he was on the Jhin.
No, definitely two players that very well understand Jhin more so than anything else, but Elucida going down mid lane, Altgurk 7 comboed with the Orianna Shockwave, and they take down Xerath.
Very, very well played by Elucida, making sure that he gets the little bit of a corner cut there. Ooh, the Theatric being taken down by that fourth shot from Bearded Breadlover's passive.
Yeah, clumsy Chocobo deciding to ult into the mid lane as Rek'Sai and hold this turret. Yeah, Elucida making just a great gank. Oh, clumsy flashes in on DG Mad Hatter. DG Mad Hatter flashes and ghosts away, able to get out.
That's worth 2 summoners. He can definitely go and he definitely now has the potential to just re-gank that lane.
Yeah, and a lot of focus from both junglers on this mid lane. As we see, I think that's where almost every gank but one from Wukong trying to go down bot has gone. They're really trying to get these mid laners ahead. But going back to bot lane, yeah, this Jhin with his very strong early game, Bearded Bearlover and Budnificent, both proficient on this champion. Misfortune really just needs to wait until the team fights and be able to use her ultimate to shred through an entire team. She's just not able to put on the pressure with those double ups in lane, but she is ahead in farm, at least 12 farm on this Jhin despite his 2 kills. Xerath ghosting in bot lane, followed up with Rek'Sai. He lands a stun on Theatrics. Clumsy gets the 2-man knockup as we see the Jhin and Xerath all come out. Every shot hit by Xerath, but it's not enough to also take down Budnificent.
That was just very unfortunate for Theatrics there, to be completely honest. He got hit with every single form of CC. Actually, gets the the prey seed. Actually taking out Misfortune there.
Yeah, overstaying a little bit when he probably just needed to back up while there are still 4 members from this team grabbed by the team of bot lane. Bearded Bearlover might go down to the turret. He blows Flash and the Lulu ultimate, taking a lot of turret damage.
Hey, that was first turret though. That's worth.
Barely getting that first turret as DG Mad Hatter trying to race to trade the mid lane. He gets it just a second too late. And they're looking down to rotate on Bearded Bearlover. Oh, very, very close from Team Grabbing by the Teemo, almost going down to the turret and giving Budnificent 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 kills if they mess that up. Oh, clumsy Chocobo goes in with the tunnels and is able to steal the dragon away.
Oh no, but the damage coming out.
The junglers are traded from that after that Xerath damage comes across and just annihilates Elucida's Wukong, not the tankiest of early game champions.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that was a win there for the side of Team Grabbed by the Team, as Clumsy Chocobo was able to steal away the dragon and trade kills with Elucida for basically free. Oh, but it looks like the Curtain Call is going to be able to take... No, Gurg actually taking it down with the Arcane Pulse.
Just the long-range poke able to force Team Champion Spotlight Ashen off the turrets. I don't know why they go to these turrets.
Might be going down too!
Very nice flash away. Yeah, they need to just not be stepping up to these turrets one at a time, especially with how long range Team Grabbing by the Teemo's poke is. They're just able to take people out under turret without taking turret shots.
It's that whole range aspect. It's something that we didn't really talk about in Champ Select. Is that while yes, it seems like Team Champion Spotlight Ashen has been able to make this, really, really nice nice team fight comp and combo comp. You know, they have the range. Honestly speaking, and we're getting a lot of glimpses of that coming off from Team Grappling by Atimo. They have the range to be able to say, hey, you know what, that's fine. We'll just poke you out before you can really engage upon us. And Elucida, not being able to really build a lot of tank, only has his jungle item right now, as opposed to the Tiamat and Ruby Crystal by his counterpart, as well as 30 farm. So Elucida not having exactly the best game right now on this Wukong.
Yeah, he's really been just looking to try to make plays in the lanes before he was level 6, not having his ultimate, instead of farming up to that point. Just not able to get anything done while this Rek'Sai comes in repeatedly on this mid lane, gets 2 easy kills for himself and Gurg, and then goes down bot lane, and this Rek'Sai is just way outdoing the Wukong.
Looks like they might try and make a play here with Gnarls Barkley, but no, gonna be able to spot them out. It seems like Team Grabbed by Atimo is actually gonna try and respond to this. The Axis is getting knocked up. Pump Chocobo doesn't exactly have a lot of help with him. Gurg is throwing down the Arcana Pulse. Nice zone potential there. Elucida flashing across, and an excellent flash and a go from Pump Chocobo. He's still gonna get knocked up. He's gonna take the shotgun there. A 3-man knockup, and an ultimate coming out from Greg.
Excellent 3-man taunt from Gnarls Barkley to hold them in place so Greg can try to get his damage out. Oh my, he loses his life for it, but Gurg able to take out that Wukong on the backside. Just absolutely dealing insane damage from super long range if they don't get to him. And we see Magnificent down in the bot lane trying to 2v1. He gets exhausted. Bearded Barrel of his 4th shot comes out very, very low. He's going to have to happy feet. No, not quite enough. An excellent first shot by Bearded Bear Lover off that curtain call gets them that turret.
Yeah, I mean, Greg is just putting out so much damage. It's so much AoE damage. Something we didn't talk about. So much AoE damage coming away from this to be able to pretty much not destroy, but really weaken this not really tanky team coming out from not as tanky as they were last time from Team Champion Spotlight Austin. The only tank that they really have is coming away from that Malphite on stock Dahlias, but beyond that, I mean, Elucida is still not opting to go tank with this Wukong, and he's actually got a Warhammer on the second item. I'm guessing he's going to try and get that Youmuu's as fast as possible. But yeah, there's not really a lot of tank, and the damage is coming out from both Bearded Bear Lover on the Jhin, as well as the AoE damage coming away from Gurg 7 on the Xerath. Is just, it's melting their health bars right now.
And two very big plays coming out of Team Grappling by the Teemo to take that fight. First being Gurg 7's flash away from Elucida, not being able to get the Wukong Orianna combo down on him and take him out of the fight early. And second being that Stand United in from Gnarls Barkley, able to taunt 3 members out of the teleport, locking them down for Gurg 7 to hit them with the ultimate.
So it looks like Shen's going to be able to take this Rift Herald buff. I like it. Does seem that he's going to try and go for that split push more so now than in Game 1.
Having that early Sunfire cape to give him some good tankiness and the minion clear with the Cinder passive.
Yeah, definitely a 180. Like I said, I'm pretty certain he heard me from Game 1 on those couple of critiques there, and it seems like it's been working out in his favor. I mean, 1-1, about a 30 CS lead here on stock Dahlias, as opposed to last game where he was just getting absolutely bullied at this point in the game by stock. So the tanking is really coming through right now for Gnarls Barkley, and it looks like this he's winning the trades fairly easily at this point. Stock,
and also
not really finishing an item here, doesn't actually have a single item completed.
Oh, DG Mad had her caught out by the stun from Xerath and the knockup from Clumsy, and he goes down in the jungle, overextending himself and just getting picked off by that shocking orb. Nice stun from Gurg 7.
Like I said, they just don't have any tank right now on the side of
Elucida comes in with a Dragon Steel.
Gonna pay for it with his life. Oh, a curtain call coming out. Magnificent's gonna go down. Theatrix gonna take the blast coming out. Gurk7 gonna try and get that Arcana Pulse. Does get it. Can he get the stun? No. Thunderlords is gonna take it for him.
Yeah, it looked like Team Champion Spotlight Ashen really has something going for them. They caught 2 people in the pit. Lucida with the counter Dragon Steel to answer the last one. But just DG Mad Hatter not being there after getting picked off really hurt them, unable to grab them by the Teemo into that bullet time and keep them locked there.
Absolutely. So 20 minutes in, and right now we have not been able to see the comp working for Champion Spotlight Ashen at this point. And DG Mad Hatter actually looks like he's going to go down. A great flash by Bearded Bear Lover, dodging out the Orianna Shockwave. Absolutely amazing there.
Yeah, very well played from Bearded Bear Lover in this Jhin, and this Jhin seems to be really the central focus from both teams. I'm still not really sure why the red side teams were not banning this away from the other team. Both AD carries very proficient on it and showing that.
I think it's my understanding that and actually Knowledge Barkley going in aggressive on Stock Dalius. Not a lot's gonna actually come out of it. He is pretty low. Might opt to tower dive here. Oh, Fleeting Panda actually coming out. Nice. Ooh, flash coming out from Stock Dalius, but he's still gonna go down to the ultimate of Xerath. Honestly, I don't think Team Champion Spotlight Ashen were really prioritizing that pick because they did not believe that Grab Them by the Teemo would take it away. Honestly speaking, I wouldn't have foreseen that, to be completely honest. Maybe Greg would have gone for the Lux that was not banned this time around. Maybe would have opted in for the Lux instead for the first pick and take it away from DG Mad Hatter, who I know plays Lux as well. So maybe they put a little bit more focus on that and say, oh, okay, well, the Jhin is going to be open anyway because Greg's going to first pick for the champion. Bearded Bear Lover actually running away with that Youmuu's passive. Stand United coming in to give him a little bit more room. Not enough, though.
Excellent by DG Mad Hatter, able to get the ball closer in with that command protect and then just command attack over and grab the pickup off of Bearded Bear Lover.
But we haven't exactly been able to see Team Champion Spotlight Ashen really make this team comp work. There has still not been a single unstoppable force with this Orianna ball, as I say that. But, Orianna does have a shockwave. So now this is a real threat. This is a live threat coming out from Team Champion Spotlight Ashen. Something that has not exactly been online this entire game. But now that we're more set up into the mid game here, definitely going to be looking for those team fights and those combos with the bullet time, with Lucida's ultimate and the shockwave all together in one.
Yeah, and they really need to try and find these big team fights. Team Hydro looking to get the pick. Bearded Bear Lover opening up with the curtain call on Theatrix. Fourth shot misses, and Theatrix barely walks away off that one.
And Bearded Bear Lover actually getting caught out here momentarily. Ultimate coming down from Xerath is not going to have enough damage to be able to get any close away from it.
Yeah, Magnificent DG Mad Hatter just walking straight past Bearded Bear Lover. Hey Dave, how's the morning today? And finally realize he's there, turn and pick up that kill, blowing the shockwave to do so.
Yeah, a little bit of a misstep there from Bearded Bear Lover. Didn't exactly have the backup to be able to just walk in without any vision into the river, so not really sure where they were going with that. Was there anything Mike trying to make a shot? No, I just opted the wave instead.
And just coming to a standstill now is Team Champions, or Team Grab Them by the Teemo, really trying to set up vision and try and get their next move down.
Sargeras actually going to make the caught. Oh no, dude. The miscommunication there by Clumsy Chocobo. Actually, He had the Oriana ball on him. Oh no, Shockwave was offline. Shockwave was offline for Oriana, so they couldn't really end that fight, as well as the fact that Budnificent on Misfortune was bot lane as well. So very unfortunate that Stock Dailies had to burn the Unstoppable Force to get out of that situation, but it will be online in the next, I don't know, minute 20. No, just a minute, I'm sorry. Oh, Curtain Call coming out. We're going to try and get another pick on the Theatrics.
Oh, Elocita diving in solo, ulting Bearded Bear Lover and fleeing Panda, and able to take the Blast Cone away as the Stand United comes down. Bearded Bear Lover deadly flourish hits, but the Root's not ready for it. Very questionable decision by Elocita, deciding to dive in 1v4. As we see a fight break out in the middle of the jungle, Stock Daily is caught by the deadly flourish, trying to take damage back and forth. The Redemption comes down, heals up Team, grab them by the Teemo. Stock Dailies is caught again by a stun and an Arcano Pulse, trying to get the ultimate off Gurk 7, hits the final shot as Gnarls Barkley goes in and taunts DG Mad Hatter on the Oriana. Budnificent caught by an Arcano Pulse. Bearded Bear Lover flashing in to try and get the kill. Budnificent turns and what an Arcano Pulse by Gurk. Although it only picked up one, Bearded Bear Lover able to get the kill before that Arcano Pulse hit. But Team grabbed them by the Teemo, just going and getting picked off from this poke. Not able to find the fights they want, just staying too split up.
They're just really mistiming their ultimate here. Stock Dalius had to burn the ultimate to get away from that pick potential. Elocita going in 1v5, burning his ultimate, trying to make something happen as well. And then DG Mad Hatter absolutely whipping on the Shockwave, not being able to get anything off of there. They have the team comp and they have the ultimate, but like you said, they're not getting the proper engages. But beyond that, they're not communicating what ultimates are on cooldown and what ultimates aren't. And in those split-second decisions, that's where they're really, really messing up there. That's where they're really faltering. It's just the fact that they're not communicating what ultimates are and on offline. I understand that you can see it, but in the split of the moment, you have to be able to say, hey, I have no ultimate. Hey, I have no ultimate. We need to back off of this. And Bearded Bear Lover actually taking the Blast Cone over into the Dragon. Not really caring.
Yeah, he's a little low. I don't know why he's trying to get back there. Probably should have backed after that Baron.
Right now, all the attention is centered around this Infernal Drake. Right now, Team Champion spot Alash would definitely like that Infernal Drake at this point. That would be their second one this game. That's a lot of damage as well. That's
Team grab them by the Teemo, finally rotating though into mid lane with this Baron buff as Team Champion Spotlight Auction is looking to make it happen. Elocita poked out very hard from the Xerath and Jhin, and they're on the run through the jungle.
Yeah, Lucida just doesn't have the tankiness that he did with the Lee Sin early on last game, and he's really getting he's really paying for it with this poke damage coming out just from Greg actually, from the Chocobo actually in the lane. Lucida's coming in. He doesn't have the Oriana ball. Gets knocked up automatically and gets ulted. Dies before his ultimate lands on anybody. Curtain Call coming out. Trying to get to the back line. Budnificent taking a couple of shots. Takes the fourth shot. He's not going to really go down. Next on the menu is Theatrics. From the jungle, trying to make something happen. A flash Unburrow. Going to be able to take down Budnificent. And so much damage coming off of Greg right now with that Xerath.
Yeah, trying too hard. Elocita there, trying to force the fight in there. He flashes in, but he's not flashed in far enough. And then dashes to a minion and tries to throw his ultimate down, but there's just nobody inside of it. And then Theatrics gets picked off again by the long range deadly flourish of Jhin. They're just really not able to get these team fights they want. They're getting picked off by the range from Gurg 7 and Bearded Bear Lover.
Yeah, and also I don't know why they opted to try and fight this while Grab Them by the Teemo had the Baron buff. It's it's one of those things where, hey, they haven't been ahead. It's 23-8. 8 turrets to 3. There is no way that they can win those fights, and yet for some reason they opt to try and take the fight anyway. with a Baron empowered team that is now 13k above you. You know, why would you try and opt to take that fight? I just don't really understand the thought process there. I mean, 28 minutes into the game, I wouldn't exactly call it that it's time for desperation plays, but it's definitely looking like that's a conversation happening right now with Champion Spotlight Auction, is that they're just getting desperate and they really want to make something happen here.
And let's remember, they have the combination. They've set up this team fight. If they're able to hit 3, 4, 5 members of Team Grab Them by the Teemo, this gold lead will almost mean nothing at that point. They just should be able to just shred straight through the carries and just leave a fleeing clumsy Chocobo and Gnarls Barkley off the end of a good team fight.
Honestly speaking, I think what needs to happen is that either Stockadelius, actually specifically Stockadelius, needs to try and get these flanks. Elucida has been trying desperately to get these flanks off, but here's the thing, he does not have the tankiness to be able to tank a couple of turret shots. Stockadelius can. He has the tankiness to be able to survive a couple of poke damages from both Bearded Bear Lover and Greg 7 on the Xerath. So, you know, really, that's where a lot of the initiation should come from, is the flank of Stockadelius. But right now, he's just focusing on being a front line, and you know that's not really going to make anything happen there, because right now, Grab Them by the Teemo understand that they shouldn't be clumped up at all with this Malphite and Wukong combination with the Orianna, and they're doing an excellent job as to not really. No more than 2 of their members have been knocked up by any form of CC coming out from both Stock and Elucida. And that might change right now, actually. No, but it looks like they're just going to take the tower. Stock can't do anything. He's going to get taunted. He might actually go down. Oh, he does get the... They finally do get the ultimate, but Shockwave only hitting 2 members from Team Grab by Teemo. And again, just nothing working. The Theatrics is probably going to go down to this curtain call. Redemption coming out, but it's not going to be able to save them. That's 3 of his down. But Magnificent going to try and make something happen here. Zanya's coming out from Greg. He still goes down, and that's going to be GG coming on the side of Team Grab Them by the Teemo.
Yeah, Team Champion Spotlight Auction, they found the fight they wanted. Unfortunately, just a little miscommunication. DG Mad Hatter puts the ball onto Stockadelius, and he ults the 2 tanks, and then Stockadelius ults into the backline. Just not really getting the combination down, not having the communication they need to know when they're going in, when each is using their ultimates. And even though they had Team Grab Them by the Teemo grouped up in front of that inhibitor, ready for a team fight to break out, they just didn't pull it off. They didn't execute the play.
Yeah, and also to the side of Team Grab Them by the Teemo, they did an excellent job into not clumping up in team fights. That would have spelled absolute disaster. And you made a comment on it, and you're absolutely right that, you know, if they ended up getting the combination down, that gold lead that Team Grab Them by the Teemo had would have been absolutely nullified at that point. So really, really great stuff coming out from them to not be clumped up in team fights and to more or less spread out and keep the positioning on the Xerath and on Bearded Bear Lover on the Jhin to an absolute maximum, and having the peel ready for them in case anything happened. You know, Stockadelius ulted in that last fight. He was able to ult 2 of their carries, but they both had flash up and the peel necessary in order for them to not only disengage off of the Malphite, but to kill him as well in that process. And then Elucida tried to salvage whatever it was that was left and ended up losing his life in the process as well. So, you know, just a lot of miscommunication and just overall disjointed play coming out from Team Champion Spotlight Auction. I was really, really excited for that team comp, but you know, unfortunately, they didn't get the correct synergy there to all follow up at the same time.
And it all came down to what we talked about waiting in this lobby, is the positioning of Team Grab Them by the Teemo, just being able to keep themselves in the right position to not get caught by all this crowd control and these ultimates, and just allowing them to deal out the damage. And Champion Spotlight Auction had to pick one target to focus because they couldn't focus them all at the same time.
Right, and the last little detail that we're going to talk about here, and actually, I'm going to go ahead and put in the MVP voting here. So go ahead and to all viewers, go ahead and get your votes in for the MVP for Game 2. I'm going to leave this up for about 5 minutes, so around the 12:30 mark, we'll go ahead and close off all the voting for Game 2, so make sure you get your votes in there. Something interesting to note, Greg had 30k damage right on that Xerath. That is absolutely insane, considering that Bearded Bear Lover on the Jhin only had 20k. That's a 10k differential. And then on the side of Team Champion Spotlight Ashen, the only one that was close to that score was Buddy, and he was 11k. Almost 3 times the amount of damage was coming out from that Xerath to the most damage on team coming out from Team Champion Spotlight Ashen. That Xerath made that's honestly speaking, we didn't really think of it, but that Xerath tore that team composition apart. Elucido was going in half health. Stockadelius wasn't able to make anything happen because of the stun lock and the general peel that Xerath can bring that Xerath can bring to himself. And just the positioning aspect that Greg had on the Xerath just really it tore apart everything that Team Champion Spotlight Ashen had to offer and were planning to do with that team composition. So great job there. And actually that's who I'm going to give my MVP voting to is going to be Greg on that Xerath, just putting some absolute mad work there all around.
Yeah, and while he was able to hit that poke and get all that damage out, I personally, I would want to give this MVP to Clumsy Chocobo on this Rek'Sai. Pulling this pick out, making the early game work, able to get those early ganks around the backside with the tunnels and burrowing through and blowing flashes and summoner spells off DG Mad Hatter, and able to get Gurg 7 a lead early on and repeat those ganks with the Orianna down summoner spells and just really keep this Orianna out of the early game and get Gurg 7 that early lead. And he was just all over the map. He goes down bot, he hits the 2-man knockup, and they're able to take down Beneficent and Theatrix together and get that bottom turret for the first turret blood. Clumsy Chocobo just really putting in that early game work and making the pressure from Rek'Sai happen.
Absolutely agree. I can see where you go from that and whatnot. Really giving Greg a leg up on that lane. But at the same time, it was only 2 kills. And granted, they were very early kills and they were very, very substantial. I do not doubt that. But in my honest opinion, Greg was just able to make the mid game and late game. Like he outshined everybody in that game, in the mid to late game, with the amount of damage that was coming out and the CC that he was able to provide for his team. So I do understand that whole logic there, but I don't know. It's just you have to land the skill shots and you have to have the damage in order for all of that to work. All of that CC that Clumsy Chocobo had to offer and all the pick potential, he had to have the damage to back it up, and Greg just absolutely excelled in that, in that category.
And I respect that decision, and I guess we'll see how the voters play out on that.
Absolutely. Dylan, make sure you go ahead and vote as well. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and giving it over to Gurg 7 and looking at the results as of right now. It looks like Greg is only up by 1 vote as of right now. Again, you still have 2 minutes, so everybody here, make sure you go ahead and get those votes in, because this is actually really close between Gurg 7, Clumsy Chocobo, and Bearded Bear Lover, only having 3, 2, and 1 votes altogether. So make sure you go in and vote for who you guys think the MVP was. Like I said, you got 2 minutes to go ahead and do that. And we have a couple of viewers. We have 16 viewers, so I expect 16 votes here. It's already in the chat. I'll go ahead and post it again. So go ahead and try and get that. Get your votes in for Game 2.
Yeah, and so In that game, Team grabbed them by the Teemo, coming off a really, really tough loss where they tried to fight back, but Team Champion Spotlight Auctions early game would just prove too much. Able to steamroll out of the early game and take this victory back and pick up the tie on the end of this. Very, very well done, changing it up from their first game mistakes and pulling together the second game.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I just think it was a lot cleaner, and like I said, they really just came back. And from what it looked like, it seemed like they really just came back and was like, "All right, guys, look, uh, we had the better team comp. Well, no, they didn't exactly have the better team comp, but we need to not overstep our boundaries." They had every single opportunity to win that game. It was just a lot of missteps in the early to mid game that ended up leading to harsher results as the game went on, until ultimately it was only one mistake that ended up costing them the game outright after spending 10-20 minutes clawing back into that game, making that 11k gold lead back into a 2k gold lead around the 35-minute mark, I believe. So they had every single opportunity to win that game. The composition wasn't the end all be all, but really, from what it looked like was just their overall mentality change, and was like, we're just gonna let things happen. We're not gonna force anything. We're not gonna overstep. We're not gonna overextend. And you saw that here. With this team composition coming out from Team Champion Spotlight Auction, they did not have any room to overstep their boundaries because they would have gotten absolutely punished by the combination.
Yeah, playing it very, very well. Clumsy Chocobo this time, not diving turrets after popping summoner spells off of Team Champion Spotlight Auction's mid laner, DG Mad Hatter. Definitely learned from his mistakes and was able to capitalize and grab several kills in the mid and bottom lane.
Is this the right straw poll? Okay, maybe not. No, yeah, it is. Alright, it seems like there's a little bit of discretion here. Okay, yeah, I think Greg linked the actual one. I don't understand why that happened.
What? That was weird.
No, this is the correct one. Yeah, there we go. This is the correct one. All right, so I'll go ahead and extend the time to 3 minutes because for some reason, it posted another poll here because it gave it to game 1. I don't know what exactly happened. So make sure to go ahead and vote again on the link. I'm very sorry, guys. I do apologize. Don't know what exactly happened. I understand that there are 2 different links, but the one that I just posted, the correct poll, that is the correct poll. So go ahead and try and get your voting in there. Like I said, I'm extending it another 3 minutes to try and get that happening. Do 1 more minute. We can wrap it up. Okay. All right. Never mind. I just got a call from my boss that we're only gonna do 1 more minute. So, so we're gonna go ahead and extend it to the 34 mark. And actually, what we can do is we can pop on over to TeamSpeak, try and see if Elucida is there, and try to grab him for an interview. I will be right back.
Connected. Disconnected.
don't seem to see Elucida on here. Yeah, I'm not seeing Elucida on TeamSpeak.
Oh, what's up? Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
That would scare me.
Try and interview you guys, both of you guys at the same time.
I love Clumsy Chocobo with all my heart. He is my lover.
Oh, is that right? I mean, I could see it. Definitely see it. So anyway, we'll go. Ah, there he is. There's Clumsy. There's.
Boy, you're just like, hop on TeamSpeak, bro. I'm just like, all right, I'll be there.
That's what y'all do for some reason. Y'all never use Discord for whatever reason. I don't know.
I got both, but
Is
that
it-
boy
is
said,
it
I'll
buddy?
be waiting for you in TeamSpeak.
Is it Buddy? Is it because of Buddy?
20 minutes later, I'm just like, not like this.
Is it because of Buddy? All right. Well, in any case, so
Is that how you pick up girls? Is that how you? Hey girl, wanna hop on TeamSpeak?
wait for her in Discord? Yeah, maybe that's why I don't get a lot of dates. But anyway, congrats to both of you guys for getting MVP for your respective games. It was a really hard fought, really entertaining couple of games. I'll be honest. What's it called? A lot of throws were had in the first game. A little bit cleaner the second game. But Dylan, you want to go ahead and start off with the questions?
Yeah. One thing I'm very interested in is both AD carries are very proficient on that Jhin, and that's one of their favorite picks. And it was a very contested pick. Why did the red side team not opt to try and ban that away, knowing that the blue side team would try and grab that for their carry? For both of you, I guess one of you can start. Greg, maybe first.
Well, I mean, Buddy is he does play a lot of Jhin, but he does also play a lot of other champions. I mean, I've seen him play a bunch of different stuff, so we kind of knew it was going to be one of those situations in which we could ban it away, but he'd still have something else, whereas we could ban like other champions, like other players' best champions. Like we banned the Graves both games because LSC is really good at Graves. And so like our bans were kind of focused on champions either we did just not want to play against or that we thought were going to be very strong on one side. And so we just didn't prioritize the Jhin.
All right, Elucida.
Pretty much what Greg said. Well, kind of. There were better bands that we thought it was like, these are more ban worthy than Jhin. I mean, sure, Jin's great pick, but someone like Kha'Zix or like some champions that a player is really, really good at, we need to ban those out first. Like target bans are extremely important. And Jhin, I haven't seen their team's AD carry play that much, so we didn't know his champion pool. That's why we didn't ban Jhin. Jhin was like out of our concern. So.
All right. Well, my question is going to be directed at both of you more or less. So, game one. Game one is probably going to be one of the most. It should be one of the most analyzed games from this split because it was a disaster that almost happened but didn't happen. So, really, I'm gonna start with Greg here. What were your guys' downfall in the early to mid game, or what did you guys think was your worst aspect there? Because you guys seem to have lost so much control of that game. What was what was the conversation that was happening there once you guys really started to feel like you guys were slipping?
I mean, we just lost lane really hard. I mean, LSCita ganked everywhere, and every time he ganked, he got a kill. He was 5-1 at 12 minutes in, 13 minutes in, or maybe 15. But he just got lanes ahead, and then we were playing from behind for so long, and then they got that Baron buff, and they got one of our inhibs, but then they had every tower. So we were just playing from behind for so long because LSCita just had such impact and laners lost, and that Blitzcrank bottom just crushed it too. So once we kind of got into later game, we basically just had pretty good team fights. Ziggs is really good at poking from far. Roberto was doing a pretty good job of kiting on Ashe. But yeah, they just got ahead so far early game, and they just kind of were able to steamroll that. We kind of came back in the middle of the game, but I still feel like they had a goal lead. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, I definitely understand that. Now, switching on over to Elucida, it was a disaster that almost happened. So, once you guys started to realize, hey, we're losing team fights now, what was your guys' conversation or your guys' approach to make sure that you guys didn't lose that fight? Because it was a very crucial Shen steal on the Baron that really turned that entire game around. So, post that Shen Baron steal, what were you guys thinking? What were you guys communicating?
During the team fight, whenever we lost, we were just sometimes we were so scattered. And whenever we were roaming around, warding and stuff, we just found wars everywhere from the enemy team. And we were getting frustrated because our jungle and their jungle is warded, and they get vision of us every time. And you guys move as a group, so it was hard for us to pick. And we were constantly complaining whether or not to get the inhib towers, or maybe we should make a pick and then go for the inhib, and we're constantly arguing about what we should do first. And we also were really treading that Ashe arrow, because that 3-second stun is it ruins lives, just poking them with an R. And we have to just think we can't get picked. If one of them gets hit by Ashe arrow, we're done for. If one of our team members dies, we're done so. So with that in mind, we have to constantly play very safely, and it turned out to be a good thing at the very last team fight when Frank dodged Ashe arrow with his ult as Ari. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dylan, you got anything else?
Yeah, and how did that really translate into your mindset for the next game, that you purposely pick this heavy team fight comp because you were so afraid of getting picked off in the previous game that you wanted to almost force yourselves to stay grouped against the enemy team? Is that kind of what you're going for, or did you have this planned out ahead of time, this kind of composition?
It just happened. We didn't even realize it was happening until it just happened. I'm like, oh wow, that's a really good comp. And turns out, not practicing with that comp is a terrible idea. So we definitely need to practice something like that, team fight oriented. We just need to be able to communicate much more efficiently than any other comp, because it relies on everyone's abilities to be able to pick or make plays through Wombo Combo, which is our team comp. And it just didn't happen. We were going in when we're not supposed to, and I don't know, just everything just went wrong for that game. We just didn't play it safe and right.
Okay.
Oh, not to mention that Xerath is very annoying ahead. So.
All right, Dylan, did you have a follow-up question, or are you good?
No, not really.
Okay. So this is going to be my last question as well. So now games are done. You guys split the difference, and you guys got another tie. I'm not exactly sure what that does to the standings. Greg is a little bit more proficient in that. But we were talking about it. We were talking about it last game, or a couple of games ago, where every single win counts. Every single win is closer to that number one spot, and both of you guys were in the running for that number one spot. I think you guys are tied now, if I'm not mistaken.
Champion Spotlight Auction is at the top of the table right now with 13 points, and Grab Latino is still 1 point behind them, tied for second now with the Comeback Kids.
Okay,
It's
and
close.
that's who you guys are playing next, right, Greg?
No, we already beat Comeback Kids.
Oh,
Like
So-
Team 9.
okay. Well, in any case, that's
Team three.
besides the point. So coming off of this, more or less off of this draw, what are your guys' plans looking forward? You know, what are the things that you feel you should clean up in both of you guys' respective teams, so that way you avoid another draw and get closer to that win and that first seed to be able to get that first round bye. Elucida, you can start off on this one.
Alright, cool. Well, first of all, I think communication is very important, especially, like I said, about the team comp, that heavily revolves around Wombo combo. Communication is definitely important, and we need to work on it. Another thing I wanted to bring it up was when we were playing from behind, the team was tilted. I know I myself was a little tilted from that, not too much though, and because we were tilted, we didn't make as much communication with the team, and we were just making terrible decisions and plays. We just gotta stay cool-headed throughout the game, even if we're behind. And that would make the difference between, like, if you were to keep a cool-headed for game 2, maybe we could have done a lot better rather than going in with half health like me. Don't be like me, kids. So yeah, that, and the last thing would be wording. Wording just neutral objectives and some bushes around where people go through a lot. And just knowing winning the vision game is going to be very important for the next few games.
Okay, all right. Definitely understand that. Greg, what about you? What do you guys think coming into the end of the split you guys should really try and fix now? Like, it's gotten to the point where you more or less need to hot fix these issues that you may have.
I gotta go double-edged sword on Ziggs, but other than that, dude, I didn't go double-edged sword first game and second game. I did, and you see the damage difference. Also, I want to give a shout out to Julio for being a monster jungler game 2. Shout out to Julio, he's the best. But anyway, going forward, I think our early game was really crappy, game 1, and when our early game was crappy, I think our late game is very strong, and our team fights are very strong. But like, if we lose early game, we just kind of put ourselves on the hill we have to make up. Like, this is like the 4th or 5th game where we were playing kind of from behind and then just got into team fights and won. So if we had a stronger early game, that game we had a strong early game, and then our team fights took over and we just crushed it. So I think it's just improving our early game and going double-edged sword.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for us here. Thank you guys for your time, and like I said, good luck on the last couple of games that you guys have for this split, and good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, catch you guys later. All right. Well, I actually sorry, Dylan, I actually kicked you.
Yeah, thank you.
My bad. So that's going to wrap it up here, guys. For anybody who's still watching, thank you guys so much for still being here at 12:48 Central Standard Time for me on the East Coast. I know you guys are now running up to 2 a.m., but thank you guys so much for keeping in touch with us and always giving us views on this stream. I know it's late. I know it's Friday. I know you guys should be out there partying and everything. But, a couple of games of League of Legends are always fun. I know I'm about to go drink. So, In any case, again, Make sure, if you don't already, for any new viewers, hit that follow button so that way you always know whenever we go ahead and go live. It really helps you guys out trying to be updated because we don't really have a set schedule, unfortunately. It's just how it works. But like I said, it's just a tool for you guys. It's just a tool to help you guys out on that. And also, right now we're up to $120 on our little donation pool. That is our incentive to be able to go to the winners of this split. It's up to 120, so there's going to be some pretty good prizes. Again, you don't have to donate, but if you got a little bit of spare change on you, I mean, we won't say no. And like I said, it gives a lot of incentives to the players to make sure, or rather to, sort of give them a little bit of something for, a nice hard day's work of League of Legends. So, like I said, any money counts and whatnot, so definitely go ahead and hit us up with those donations if you do have the money. And I think the next game, we don't have any games posted so far, but we're coming up now to week 8, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Still finishing up week 7 games this week, and then yes, week 8 begins next week.
Okay, so we're a week behind, but that's fine. So in any case, so we're going to come up to week 7. Only a couple games left in the split, so definitely make sure to check us out for those last 2 games. Like I was saying earlier in the interview, every single W counts at this point, so every single team is going to look for that playoff berth, or on the flip side, they're going to be looking for that first round bye. So definitely come by, check us out, and ride along this ride with us. And that's pretty much going to do it for us here, guys. So this has been Sebastian Lightpulse 94.
And Dylan, General Dill Ortenzi.
And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.